This is Toby with Birdsong Studios. I hope you all are well. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. Welcome to your new moon in Aquarius reading. I appreciate so much your time here and your openness to these messages. So this new moon in Aquarius, we talked about with the full moon in Leo 2 weeks ago? Was it two? Wow, it feels farther away than 2 weeks ago. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks, right? Are you guys feeling the intensity of the energy and the fluidity of time? I'm wondering how you guys are experiencing that. But as we talked about with the full moon in Leo, the energy of it lasting persistently through over the next 6 months in regards to those areas of your life that we discussed that this was impacting. I feel the same thing for this new moon in Aquarius, and that can be true for any moon. However, it feels intensified at this time as everything seems to be intensifying. So for the next 6 months until we have the full moon in Aquarius, which will be, I didn't look it up, I should have looked it up, but this was just coming through as I was starting the video. So it will be late August, should be early to late mid-August. So anyway, the energy will, this is not just a 2-week time frame we're looking at. Certainly it's going to be more intense in this first 2 weeks, but I feel like it's going to be weaving itself through all the layers of experiences and unfolding of changes and restructuring in the collective and in our own lives. This expansion out from where we have been and moving towards a space that aligns with our vision, that aligns with our sense of freedom, that aligns with our truth. And again, this visionary aspect of Aquarius, and we talked about in, what reading was it? There was a reading where we talked about how the infinite possibility available to us through this time period. I think it was Pluto in Aquarius. And so again, this ties right in. New moons are about beginnings. They're about this kind of blank slate type energy. The void where creation begins. So it is very much with so many planets in in Aquarius, particularly Pluto, the planet of transformation. We have the sun, of course, now. Today we have the moon. Mercury went into Aquarius a few days ago. Venus is going to move into Aquarius on the 13th. Mars moves into Aquarius, I think. No, let's see. I think it's Mars moves into Aquarius on the 13th, and then Venus follows on the 16th. So just within a week, we are going to have, I've lost count, 5, 6 planets now. 4, 5 planets in Aquarius, and that is profoundly powerful energy when you add the energy, the transformative energy of Pluto. And so this, as I was channeling this sigil, the layers of it and the waves, and so it will, I think that this feels indicative of how the next 6 months are going to feel with this energy, where we'll have waves of it coming back through our energetic fields into our awareness. And this feels like the launching off point right now, like this weekend, where we have this explosion of this Aquarian energy and how it will help us to step into that archetype of the visionary, to see beyond what we have seen so far. And so then we have these growing waves and ripples of this coming back into our awareness, because it doesn't leave our energetic field. It's going to be staying with us throughout the next 6 months. And simultaneously, we have access to these light codes that are going to assist us in this process of understanding the balance and the synergy between each of us as individuals and the collective. Synergy, that's a great word for this, isn't it? It's that working together. It's that ebb and flow, moving in unison, and recognizing that too we have in the energy we choose to embody in each moment, in the perspective we choose to take, we have the ability and the opportunity to recognize that synergy, or to focus on where there's contrast, where there's a clashing of those waves, right? Where they're not moving in unison, but they're crossing, they're disturbing each other. The invitation now is to focus on the synergy, because by focusing on that, that is what we're going to amplify, that is what we're going to increase. We want to amplify, magnify, build upon these growing waves of expansion and seeing beyond what we thought was possible. Because we're going to be, it feels like a bit of a training ground too, because as things change, I'll get to the cards, so please stick with me, but I'm channeling for you guys now. So as things change, and we're going to see more of that in 2024, this feels like a bit of a training ground, because where are we focusing our energy? Where are we focusing our perspective? Are we focusing on the bigger vision and seeing beyond what we thought was possible? Seeing beyond just what has been presented to us by mainstream media, by, I'm hearing indoctrination, so any of organizations, institutions that have utilized that form of communication, that form of indoctrination in conveying their messages, in perpetrating a particular story or a particular belief or agenda. Where was I going with that? So now is the time we're in this training ground of being able to see beyond, because as things unfold throughout the year, we're going to need that skill. We're going to need that skill of discernment. And if we can utilize that Aquarian energy to be the visionary, to see things from a higher level, to see the potential, to see the possibility, and looking outside the box. We're on this massive wave of breaking down the box. So now we're being invited, we're given this energy to move forward on this clean slate of the new moon, of this new beginning, to move forward as if the box does not exist. Moving forward as if the box does not exist, because truly it only exists when we place ourselves within it. So that will be the theme, it seems, for the new moon. So moving forward as if the box does not exist, because truly it only exists if we place ourselves within its walls. So let's see what wants to come through in the cards, and it is 5:55 as I am looking at my clock. 5 being the number of change. And interesting, they're pointing out to me that 5 is the number of change, but if we add up 5:55, we get 15, which 1 and 5 are 6, right? 6 is the number of balance, it's the number of love, it's the number of reciprocity. So 6 feels like it may be 5 and 6. That is indicative of moving from a state of or allowing ourselves to change the energetic experience of the collective, of one from, I'm hearing lack to reciprocity to balance to abundance. Okay, one more. This is the elemental oracle that I have been drawn to today, at least for this part. You guys know me. If you've been here before, I will use more than one deck. And we let Spirit guide that. Oh my gosh. And we have, let's see, what number is that? 13. We have the desert, solitariness. This is just what I was talking about. And we have 24, which is 6. Wind, change. Okay, let me show these to you guys. So moving from this place of solitariness, from this place of, okay, there are a couple of messages. Moving from this place of lack and feeling alone and feeling, it's interesting though, that's almost the minor message, so to speak. Okay, let me show you these before I talk more. Okay, so that's 24 and wind and change. So the minor message, notice how there's wind in both cards. Her dress, her skirt is flowing in the desert card. And of course we have this massive, I wonder if there's a goddess of wind, like in Greek or Roman mythology, that I'm not familiar with, but it almost seems like she's directing this. And so allowing our, okay, let me see if I can bring this together for you guys, because I'm getting several things. So the desert, moving from this place of solitariness and feeling alone in this process, right? We're going to be, there's the invitation to allow ourselves to be carried by this wind, which is changing our environment as well, if we allow ourselves to. If we allow ourselves to be drawn to places, people, communities, by our intuition, by our guides, by what our heart is guiding us to do and what we feel impelled to do, compelled to do, we'll move from this place of solitariness to finding our groups, finding our tribes, finding our communities, finding our soul families. Not that that isn't important, but the bigger message here was the recognition that the work that we're doing in solitary, on our own, in our own meditative world, in our inner world, is again, there's that word compelling or impelling, massive change, even throughout the collective, because the energy that we are exuding through this process of healing, through this process of understanding, through this process of prioritizing and visualizing the world that we want to embody within us, therefore the world that we want to see and the external that we want to experience in the external, it's triggering that goddess. I don't know who that is. Maybe you guys can share that, or I will look it up afterwards, but triggering that goddess to pull this wave of wind, of change through the collective, and see how it's impacting so much. And there's so many structures up here, right? So this is a symbolic representation of the societal, cultural, collective structures that have been put in place that might be, I'm not talking about physical structures as in buildings. Those are just symbolic of those organizations and institutions and groups that have perpetuated the idea of the box, the matrix. She's pulling this and unwinding it and allowing it to the walls of the box to fall down so that we can have this beautiful, clear, look, limitless view. She does not reside within a box. She's created that reality. And there may not, and this feels very, she's just in the beginning of the creation too, because look, there are buds on the tree above her. There are a few birds to indicate like early spring. This is that blank slate, this new moon energy. And I mean, it's almost like a moonscape with the desert. This is that new moon energy. She's at the beginning of creation. She's spending time there. And being very, there's a beautiful balance between being specific with your manifestations and what you're creating, and being very open as well. Because in order to, oftentimes when we're too specific, we're basing that manifestation or what we're working to manifest on, it's based on what we already know, right? When we allow ourselves to open up our imagination, open up our mind, open up our heart, then new colors may be seen, new vistas, as she has here. She's allowing herself to create from this place of openness and to see beyond what she has seen before. And that is our invitation here. I think that came up in the Pluto and Aquarius reading, didn't it? In the not the global collective reading, but the collective reading. Well, the global collective was the light worker reading. Anyway, so we have this, yes, harnessing, triggering, allowing and recognizing that the work we're doing as individuals is triggering this change on a collective level. We are working with this goddess of the wind to blow through this box. I'm picturing like a cardboard box, because truly it may, when we're inside it, it feels so restrictive, but we have the power and the ability to blow the walls off of it and move beyond, see beyond anything that was within that box, that had been placed within that box by others outside of us. Let's see, we will go to it's interesting because Aquarius is an air sign, but I'm getting lots of earthy energy with this too, both with the change card, the wind card, and the desert card. Because there's so many, and the train pipes up, there's so much vegetation represented here. And look, we have the raven here on the bottom card representing the wisdom of this change. And I feel like that's the wisdom of Source and the universe, reminding us that even when it may appear to be chaotic in the external world, and there is destruction occurring, it's purposeful. The Gatherer is popping out here, and that was card number 31. Okay, let's see what we have. And this is I'm not sure what this is. It's a shamanic oracle, but I can't remember the actual name of it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Oh yes, earth and air energy. We have the desert represented here, we have the wind, so there's, and that's why this is feeling very important, the corn. Yeah, there is definitely, a reminder here too that we talked about those ripples of healing that are being that are available to us, but that we are creating with the work we're doing ourselves, and how our internal work is moving through the collective as well, but it's also moving through Mother Earth. The hummingbird. And interesting, we have air energy and we have earth energy again. These two working in tandem together. And although the hummingbird doesn't feed from a corn plant, I'm getting that that type of symbolic synergy. There's that word again, that symbolic synergy of the blossoming of the plant feeding the hummingbird, and by the hummingbird's movements around how it is pollinating or assisting in pollinating other plants. How as it moves it around, it spreads that around its territory, how it helps to sorry, there's a word that's just kind of hanging up in my energy, and how it helps to inspire growth, how it helps to inspire the plants, the crops to bloom and to provide the fruit, the flower, the nourishment, the vibrancy, the vitality. Very interesting. And we have with the corn that we're planting seeds. We've been planting seeds, and I think that, let me show you these. I feel like the corn is a reminder of the harvest that is so close. We're so much farther along with this than we may realize, because we're in the midst of the breaking down of the box. We may not be able to see the fields of corn, the fields of this beautiful bounty that is just on the other side of those walls. It's a beautiful synergy there, and we have interesting. We have the sun here and we have the moon here, and this is a full moon. Of course, we're talking about a new moon in Aquarius, but this 8, this speaks very much to the full moon in Aquarius that will happen in August. And so that may be the point in time when we actually feel that we are harvesting what we've been working towards during this time frame. Those are beautiful cards. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Let's do... what am I looking for? I'm looking for... here we go. No, not that one. I'll do the Mystical Moments Tarot. Let's do a couple more. We have the Emperor and the Ace of Wands here showing up right from the get-go. Oh, my fingers. So remember, seeing beyond the box, because truly we are only restricted by it when we place ourselves inside it. So now we're being invited to, whether you feel like you still reside within that box, look beyond it. Use your imagination, use your visualization skills, use the tools that you have to move into your multi-dimensionality. see you are not restricted by your physical body. Your experience is not relegated to only that of your physical body. So allowing yourself to utilize your other senses, utilize that, the quantum energy, utilize your multi-dimensionality, your ability to tap into the higher dimensions and higher realms, your connection with Source, with your guides, to see over those walls. It is an illusion that your experience is limited to that, even if your physical body is still within that space. We have the Knight of Wands. And look at how he's leaping above. Yeah. Leaping through that ring of fire. The Knight of Wands takes inspired action and can be impulsive with it, can be the risk taker. But they're taking the risk, and especially in this energy, this Knight of Wands is taking the risk because it's worth it. Taking the risk because of how, again, I'm getting the word, and so much heart space energy, compelled or impelled to do so. And it's coming from the heart. It's coming from their higher self. It's coming from your inner knowing that it's time to make this leap. And again, even if your physical body resides within that same restrictive structure, and many of us still are within that, but that doesn't mean that does not limit your experience of reality. There's so much more to you than just your physical body. And yes, we have our physical body so that we can have this human experience. But at this point in time, we are being invited to see beyond that. This is Aquarius. This is the visionary. This is the inventor. It's that Uranian energy too of the unexpected. So allow yourself to be to explore beyond that box, to explore beyond where your physical body resides, what's in your physical reality, because where you take your energy, where you the realities you take your energy to, that's what you're then creating for future moments. So take that leap. And even if that leap is merely, and I'm not merely, because this is so important, we have to take the energetic leap before we take the physical leap, right? So intentionally take that energetic leap. Leap beyond the walls of the box and see what's out there. Because look at how he's, see how the ring of fire, the same ring of fire that he's leaping through, that seemed to pose all the risk, it's that ring that is lighting up the possibility of experience below him. Look at that. So that which seems to be risky, that's actually what's going to light your way. And taking the energetic leap, what real risk is that? And I think that's exactly what they're pointing out to us here. By taking that energetic leap, first you get to see a little bit beyond or into the uncertainty, right? It might not illuminate all of it. You can't see everything here with this ring of fire, but it is going to illuminate part of it. So it gives you a sense of clarity as to what's coming, and it will also provide a sense of safety in that, and understanding that actually it is this space that provides the clarity, because it's the clarity that helps minimize the sense of risk and the uncertainty, right? It takes away some uncertainty. Interesting. Okay, let's see what else we have. Allow yourself to move beyond your physical. And this is, again, speaking to the air energy and the earth energy. Because when, you know, being in, you can be grounded, and it's important to be grounded when you are exploring these other realms and your multi-dimensional aspects. I think that might be the last one for this deck. Let's see. Yeah, there's one more. The star, look at that. And that's Aquarian energy. The star is the associated with Aquarius in the tarot. Look at how beautiful that is. And this is creating that palace, and she's kind of, I'll cover her, part of her up for YouTube. But creating that palace, right? And the star represents healing, it represents dreams, it represents what we can, how we can impact our own reality through the work that we do, through our internal world. It is about wishing upon a star. It's about manifestation. I know the magician is traditionally in the tarot is associated with strongly with manifestation powers, but the star has that healing quality that brings in manifestations, because when we are understanding and working with our internal world, then it's shifting our energy and it's allowing for any restrictions or blockages that may have been interfering with our manifestations to be cleared. And so it is in relation to manifestation as the star energy helps to clear the path for that. It is about pouring into oneself, and it is also representative of that balance of giving to oneself and giving to the collective. Aquarius is the water bearer, so Aquarius is the energy that can hold the emotional energy of others. And it also represents being the impact that the healing that we do on an individual level, on how that synergizes with the healing of the collective. Really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And I love the fairy energy there. There's a sense of lightness and playfulness that is going to help propel us through this process as well. And I feel that in the hummingbird. So we have 2 8 cards here. The star being 17, adding up to 8, and then 26, adding up to 8. And again, then we have 2 8s, we have a 6. 31 is 4, and 10, which is 1. Again, representing this new beginning. Okay, let's do a Life Soul Vision Oracle to close. Really beautiful energies, guys. Remember, this is a time allowing us to see beyond the box. And if you are already beyond the box, if you are residing in the physical beyond the box, then let's see. I would reference you to the last, and okay, they're saying, give me just a second. they're saying that the ability of those who reside within the box and those already residing outside the box is equal. It's a matter of recognizing our own power within us and having belief in that. And because if we're tapping into and connecting into the higher realms, multidimensionality, to our guides, to our higher self, our inner knowing as well, to our connection with Mother Earth, to connection to ancestors, to connection to nature, to connection to spirit, to source, to the divine. It doesn't matter where we physically reside. And so this notion that we have to be beyond the box in order to impact positively the collective is false. So that's why they were bringing it up. I was taking it to the down the road of, yes, if you're like, because they're disputing what I was originally getting, because what I was originally feeling was I was jumping ahead of the message that if you're outside of the box, then you're able to more readily help those who are inside the box. And they corrected me. That's why I stopped. That's not the case. It's a human belief. Again, it goes back to the conditioning, to the what was the word that they used before? Indoctrination, that causes us to believe. It's based in the belief that within the box we are powerless, that we rely upon another external influence to determine our reality, because we believe that our reality is based strictly in the physical, and it is not. And that is what they're bringing through here, seeing beyond the box, because truly you are already beyond the box. Your harvest is out there. It's a matter of energetically moving beyond it on a regular basis, taking this time around this new moon in particular to recognize that I am not restricted by my physical environment. I am not restricted by my physical environment, whatever that may be. And many of you may be in a physical environment that is very supportive, and you may be in a physical environment where you're exactly where you want to be. So I would say this message is not necessarily for you, although certainly there are parts of it that you can take from it, because you can, I feel that this does go beyond that. However, for though it is geared more towards those who are in a physical environment that may not be exactly what you want it to be, and however form that takes. If there's something that you are moving towards in change and changing in your physical environment, we have this beautiful energy here supportive of us understanding that we are so much more than the physical. And it's so interesting. There have been so many messages coming through about how our physical body gives us signals and signs as to what we need energetically, what we're holding on to energetically, what needs our attention energetically, and at the same time, there's that kind of polarity in it, because at the same time, that's a focus on the physical, but at the same time, it's this opening to the awareness that even in the physical body, we are so much more than just the physical structures. But even within those physical structures is multidimensionality. There's the polarity. It's both. It's not either or, it's both. So recognizing within the physical structure of our bodies, we are multidimensional. The quantum nature of everything, that everything is connected. And so allowing ourselves to move into that quantum field where we can then touch and see everything that is. Oh my gosh. Yes, one of my favorite cards. It's another 10, 37, Maverick of the Light, Dancer of the Shadows. Yeah. So here's that polarity I was just talking about. Here's the polarity. Recognizing that we are both. We are all things. We are both light and dark. And dancing between those, because this energetic leap of faith, all this healing that's going on, it requires us to delve into the shadow, to love the shadow, to accept the shadow in us and in the collective. Because what we see in the collective is a mirror of something within each of us. It might be minute, but it is there. Or maybe it was there in a past life, but it is there because, again, we are all things. Going back to the quantum aspect of it, we are all things. So it's this beautiful balance of, and there's the sixth energy, this beautiful balance of the physical and the non-physical, of the light and the dark, of the individual and the collective, of the now, of our reality. No, not the now. The tangible in our reality and the multidimensional. And so bringing all those, having awareness of all those aspects, we are being so supportive with this new moon, and it's so supported at this time of the new moon in Aquarius to move beyond just what we see in the physical world. Because there's so much more available to us. And moving outside of that box, whether it is in your physical world, whether it's a mental box, whether it's an energetic box, but utilizing this energy to allow yourself to move beyond the walls, because you exist beyond them. You are limitless. Okay, I am going to end it there with these beautiful dragons. And you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow begins, is it tomorrow or is it today? I think it's the 10th. February 10th is the Chinese New Year, and we begin the Year of the Dragon. And remember how, and it's wood dragon, which is a very earthy energy. And remember how we were talking about the energy of earth energy, and the alarm goes off just as I was saying that. Earth energy and air energy. And this is that beautiful synergy between the two. Okay, I'm sending you guys so much love. Wishing you all the best, and I will be back soon. Thank you.